Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Greater Germanic Reich. So, in the last episode we have started advancing the Norwegian cooperation, or whatever you want to call it, and today we're going to continue with that while focusing on gaining the ability to continue with the reforms of our economy. We'll see how that's going to go. I've also investigated a bit our focus tree and our research tree and our military units, because quite a few things need to change. So, in the end, I decided that we're gonna reform the infantry divisions. As such, we're gonna give them an additional anti-tank and anti-air equipment, which is going to slightly lower their armor, but not really by much. It's going to increase their soft attack, hard attack especially. They're almost equal at this point. Air attack is going to get a huge boost as well. Defense is going to go up, which is amazing. Breakthrough is going to go up slightly, which is not that amazing, but still good. And piercing will go up. This will require 30 anti-air for each of the infantry units and quite a lot of anti-tank equipment and infantry equipment. We got everything. We don't have the anti-air, so I'm going to deal with that right now. The reason is because I want to start recruiting more infantry divisions. They are going to be the core of our army. And what I did as a sort of a mistake here is the anti-air, of course, is a towed anti-air. It's not infantry anti-air equipment. So we are going to add 2 factories to the towed anti-air and remove them from infantry. And thus we're going to boost significantly the production of anti-air. 930, but we'll get to a pretty decent number very soon, so we'll even that out. And that actually means that we have the HPS Operationsgruppe finished, and we have the infantry division finished, and the PGD still needs to be modified, but many of those divisions actually could be switched to the HPS. We'll see about that. But once we get enough anti-air equipment, we're going to start training more infantry division. Actually, we can start with that, I think, right about now, because they will not require all that much, will they? Anti-air 30. Yeah, that's not an issue. So let's start training you in Germania. We currently have 3 armies with not enough divisions. Actually, let's train 1 more here, but it's just going to be a single division for the 3rd Infantry Army. And once we get these 3 armies filled, I'm going to separate the 4th and 5th Infantry Army and make a separate army group out of them, basically, and recruit 2 more infantry armies. So we'll have 5 infantry armies, 2 specialized infantry armies, and then we're going to focus on our support armies. I would like more tanks, I would like more motorized, I would like more of everything, but at this point we do not have that available. So, we lost the Italo-German Great Game, we know about that. The State of the Reich, we know about that. The vast political promises will come in handy, but they will need to come handy when the time is right. It's not at this point. The Sulfurein, or Sulfurein, I think that's the right pronunciation, and the anti-Hittic Cabal, all of those are finished. You guys finished the training? Well, you will get more. And you guys are still drilling. Yeah. The Battle of Barcelona. Wait, what? Battle of Barcelona. Shocking scenes have emerged from the growing crisis in the Iberian Peninsula as uncontrollable political violence threatens to spread across the nation. Really? Catalonia has seen some of the worst fighting between political dissidents and government forces, who have been clashing day and night in the region's capital. In scenes eerily reminiscent of the Spanish Civil War, barricades were manned once again, and neighbor was put against neighbor as ideological leanings took over the lives of Barcelona's residents. For the moment, the radical leftist trade union known as the CNTFAI and its sympathizers have wrestled control of Barcelona and are now set for a bloody prolonged struggle against the counterattack of pro-government forces. It's a tale as old as time itself for Spain, as the nation plays out the bloody, tumultuous years of the 30s once more. Oh hey, well, Franco, let's see how you're gonna succeed for the second time. So construction is going. GDP is not really increasing much, but we'll see about that. Redefine relationship. We need to increase the decisions. Oh. Nope. Wait, what? Oh, new great turn. Okay. Ah, well, they got 0 and we got 4. So what can we do here? We can send military advisors. The best way to ensure Hungary stays within the pact is to offer them aid. Their military has atrophied this last decade. Any help we could give them would be much appreciated on their part. Invest in economy. Okay, that's gonna increase their GDP slightly. Give Hungary arms. Help motorize the army. Okay, so we got 224, 123, 123, and 223. Well, not great. So we have 6 points that we need. This is average of 3. So average of 2, average of 2. Damn, this is not 224, 123, 123, and 223. Well, none of these really give an average of 10. Okay, if we go here and get 2, that would be 6. Then we would be pretty much safe with going with one of these. If we got 3, then we would be safe with going with one of these, or a bit at risk with going with some military advisors. The math here, man, the math. Well, ideally this one is going to give us 3, and then we can get this one. So I think sending military advisors would be the best choice here. The best way to ensure Hungary stays within the pact is to offer them aid. Okay, so let's send military advisors. That's gonna cost 20 command power. So either we get 2, at which point we are safe with these. So that would be 8 or 9. Or we get 3, which would be 7. Then we are still safe with this one. Or we get 8, and then we can risk one of these. Well, see how it's gonna go. Not a great choice all around, but we'll see. Cover up cabal efforts, really? Cover up cabal efforts increases their strength by 10. Okay. And our offer of guaranteed independence was accepted by Kingdom of Norway. If we are to successfully pull Norway back into the fold, we will need to redefine the relationship between our two nations. No amount of bribery or sweet-talking will make the Norwegians forget how they were treated during Hitler's reign, not without proof that things will be different. From now on, the German-Norwegian relationship dynamic shall not be one of master and servant, but one of cooperation and partnership between two equals in standing, or at least until we can re-establish our network of influence. This is the impression that we'll give. So we guarantee them, and they get a bunch of bonuses based on that. Creed of ideology. And again, that's an effect on Norway. We get a bit of an increase in trade laws and a bit of decrease in trade unions. And then okay, we lower tensions and they join Einheitspact. And then this one is Krone and Reichsmark. Okay, so queer of ideology. Yep, I need to do one more. And soon we should get another choice here in the political area, which should put us in a moment where we can continue with the reforms, as painful as they might be. Okay. So you guys, who needs to drill and go drilling? It won't take too long, will they? No. About 14 days, which is something that we ought to be able to do. You guys are going to be done very soon, which is fine. And you guys have still not changed. Okay. Well, how much would we need to turn you into the HPS Operationsgruppe? We would need 270 attack helicopters and 250 transport helicopters. Great. So, research finished, administrative building construction. So, with that said, we are gonna go on to, wait, is it here? Yeah. We can get the 1965 diesel electric train improvements, which increases the production units to GDP ratio modifier and consumer goods production. So let's get that one. I missed that we were already in 1965, so we can get it. I also, by the way, looked at the tanks and the technologies that are here in a bit more detail. Same with the towed artillery and anti-air. The next level is at 1970. But we have a bunch of little bonuses here that we can actually get. There's also some really interesting tank technologies ahead of us, so we should look into it. I was actually thinking if we might modify the Leopard tank. I haven't really investigated that. Yeah, we could. Start producing a bit of a better model. So you have the torsion bar, smoke launchers, three-man turret, and enhanced optics. So what could we do? We don't have a radio. Really? Come on, man. That's such a basic thing. And extra armor plating. Additional machine gun. Anti-tank guided missiles. Damn. Piercing and breakthrough increases dozer blade. Crew heater. Reliability is 90. I wouldn't mind increasing reliability. Smoke emitter. Anything? Fire control system. Stabilizer. Increases breakthrough by 5. And give 10% bonus. Expanded fuel capacity. Crew heater. No, let's go with automatic fire protection equipment. And this is we'll call this Leopard A1. So we can convert a bunch and produce the newer ones. I should have done this a long time ago, man. What a bummer. Okay, so Leopard A1 is going to be the one that's going to be produced. And we will start by converting all of the old ones, which is going to convert 3 per day, which is fine. They're going to get slightly better, and it will be good. Cleared of ideology. The memories of the occupation have left the Norwegians expectedly, yet uncomfortably, averse to the ways of National Socialism, and it is probably a fair assumption that the policies their leaders pursue might start to wildly deviate from our own as their government is restructured. However, Norway's potential service to us or potential services to us are too great to abandon over matter of ideological homogeneity, which is already being disentrenched at the home front anyway. If this agreement is to succeed, we will have to tolerate and ignore any political differences between our nations and allow the Norwegians to actually govern themselves any way they deem appropriate. So they gain a lot of political power, bonuses to everything except National Socialism, and replaces heavy protectionism with closed economy. And we get slight changes in political power. Yes, token political promises. Our regime stability increased by 5. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, for some reason our regime stability dropped. And it's 1st of May. So wait, our economy is here. Yes, our credit rating has increased. It is now 8, which is good. Which allows me to actually do this. I can now go ahead and go with the Währungsreform. Credit rating improved, thank you for that. We're gonna take the token political promises, get to 42.6, and then we're gonna start with the vast political promises and go with either Ausbildung Initiative. No, we can do only one because the other one is going to decrease our situation again. Though if we could get the political speech in the meantime, it could be enough. Okay, so we finished one of the ships. It's gonna be done on 24th of May. So let's build one more Zerstörer. Those are just for now. Yep, and then we are going to look at the new one because it's gonna be done in 16 days. At least the research will be done in 16 days. Okay, new great game turn, we know about that. Lost protection units. Why is the game lying to me like that? I don't know. Doctrines available. Oh, Navy one. Okay, so the hidden arm. A good navy has just as much tonnage beneath the waves as it does above it. The silent warfare beneath the surface is just as important as the noisy one above it, perhaps more so with the advent of the nuclear triad. So, torpedo reveal chance lowered. Upgrade surface detection plus 5% and organization plus 10. I would have expected that to lead to something different, but okay. Wait, invest. Oh yeah, it's the Italo-German great game. Oh, we got 7. Okay, so now we can help motorize the army safely. Okay, the average infantryman in the Hungarian army is still a footman, and they even use horses to draw up supplies from their bases. It is time to help them modernize. We will send the Hungarians some much-needed heavy-duty trucks that can be deployed for a multitude of uses. So let's pray for 3 there. Because that would give us 10. But if we get 2, it's fine still. Yeah, we get the available points in reserve. That's fine. Okay, you guys are almost done drilling. You are almost done drilling. Same here. You have finished. So the army modernization is going well. You know what? I can do it this way, just to make sure that we're gonna do it right. Wait, what are you missing? Anti-tank? Oh, okay, no, that's just too much. Okay, let's keep it this way. But yeah, the army is finally growing. After this whole time, we are finally growing. So, Währungsreform. So what does it say? It's going to give us a GDP growth increase of 0.25. Inflation will decrease by 0.65. Okay, we will spend some money. We'll spend some money of 0.15 billion. But our credit rating will rise, which it did. our economic policy will become more liberal, business taxes will decrease by 13%, and the economy becomes more decentralized by 10%. The Führer was caught off guard when Erhard suggested it, but his logic is sound. The Reichsmark is a worthless currency with no clout on the global stage. Even Germans who make a decent wage can barely afford to keep food on the table for an entire week. That's to say nothing of the multitude of cars, electronics and luxury goods which sit in stores gathering dust because nobody can afford them. Germans have lacked their purchasing power and quality of life enjoyed by Japanese and Americans for over a decade now. Time to put an end to this sorry state. The Reichsmark is due a hard reset. All currency will be withdrawn from circulation and replaced with newly minted notes and coins. All measures necessary to bring the actual value of the Reichsmark from its current inflated level down to normal will be carried out. There is likely to be a widespread confusion and anger following such drastic measures, but the destitute state of our citizenry cannot continue any longer. Okay, and now we are going to take advantage of the state of the Reich. 42.6. Yes, hold speech. Okay, so that's going to give us 2.5% in 7 days. And now we can go with the vast political promises. 52. Man, this is political juggling. So what do you do? Reforming business, stability, production, efficiency growth, GDP growth. Okay, revitalizing science, Ausbildung reform or price deregulation. Let's go with price deregulation. And one is gonna hit us hard into the political stability, but as we will have the political, hold the speech done by then, it is likely that we will still be able to get the second one carried out, which is the Ausbildung initiative. Both of these should increase the GDP growth. Yep, inflation is dropping significantly. National GDP is still decreasing, but so is debt. We are in an insane surplus. Wait, what? Democracy returns to Italy. Why is it cancelled? What's going on? Oh, because it dropped? Level 50. Oh, I see. Okay, the game is not going to be so easily cheated, huh? Well, democracy returns to Italy. Surprising news came from Italy today, as now former Duce Gelsano Sciano announced his resignation. Interim government, huh? And the dissolution of the National Fascist Party, or PNF. These actions of Sciano, while surprising to the uninitiated, are the culmination of the long decay of fascism in Italy that began before the death of Mussolini. This decay was undoubtedly accelerated by Sciano, who sought to dissolve the old system as he saw that it would only bring ruin to Italy given time. While there are still those in Italy who oppose this, Sciano's victory at the Verona conference gave him the necessary mandate to ignore and sideline his opponents, leaving very little official opposition to his implementation of democracy. The Italian people now prepare for their first elections in decades, and it is already obvious that there is much excitement throughout Italy at the prospect. As fascism dies where it was born, the world looks to see just who will become the first leader of the new Italy. Democracy shines in the Mediterranean again. Okay, so we need to finish the whole speech. This one to lower the Pact-related decisions, huh? Nothing in the Solf-Ein, right? Yeah. The anti-Hitler cabal, nothing there either. Decisions available. Invest in economy, give Hungary arms. Please, please, please. Yes! We got a clear 10. Amazing. So this is a magnificent victory. Magnificent victory for us. Thank you, game. Thank you for this bone that you have thrown to me. National focus. Yeah, 51.6 now. So let's try this again. What are we doing? The price deregulation or house building initiative? I think we were doing the price deregulation, weren't we? Yeah, I think so. Come on, we can do it. We can push it through. Poverty rate will begin to worsen. Regime stability will decrease. What a wonderful focus! The Principality of Vyatka has conquered the West Russian Revolutionary Front in the struggle for fate of Russia. Principality of Vyatka. I wonder when they will hit each other fully. Okay, so price deregulation has been finished. Price controls were instituted in the Reich's heyday as a popular and at the time a necessary measure. Germany's account. Sorry, once again I got confused. Price controls were instituted in the Reich's heyday as a popular and at the time necessary measure. Germany's economy was positively booming at the time. Where was the harm in enforcing a fixed price for bread that even the poorest Germans might share in the fruits of our combined labor? Unfortunately, the headlines of victory made us incautious, and we may have forgotten the value of unfixed prices. Actually, I had no idea that Germany had fixed prices at such a large scale during Hitler's regime. Erhard wishes to completely abolish any and all price controls so that the value of goods will operate under the same free market rules as the liberal nation of the world. Hopefully our citizens will not be too alarmed by the prospect of companies and businesses being able to set their own prices. In time they will see that the basic economics will keep prices at perfectly reasonable levels so that nobody will have to starve again, as during the Weimar Republic. The NSDAP opposes this on principle, naturally, on the greedy bemoan a fixed price for bread. Well, now let's reform business. Actually, what does this one do? Okay, 10% stability lost, political power lowered by 50, poverty rate increased, regime stability dropped by 5%. But inflation decreased by 0.65, GDP growth increased by 0.8, and economy decentralized by 5. And this one will actually lower the workday from 14 hours to 12. Stability will increase and production efficiency growth will increase. We'll get a bit of a hit to factory and dockyard output, but it's not such an issue. Consumer goods and needed consumer goods. And increase monthly workday policy effectiveness. Income taxes will decrease and business taxes will decrease. Economy will decentralize, but GDP growth will increase. Poverty rate will begin to rapidly improve. Replace restricted child labor with illegal child labor. Yeah, we need that. We need that. So with this hit, regime stability is 46.6, and once the vast political promises are gonna go away, then it's 36.6. So again, we're in the danger zone. But it's not something that damaging. Okay, so we finished the 1960 destroyer hull, which is great. And now I think we might want to look at the cruiser, or is there anything here that we might want? Armaments, advance, yeah, that's ahead of time. Ahead of time. Cold War damage control. Those are flat bonuses, so that's nothing that we would need to get right now. Improved corvette. What does this say? In the improved... Wait. In the improvettes... Huh? I don't know what this means. In the improvements, a pressing need for a destroyer outfitted with a modern AA battery was identified. A guided missile destroyer would be able to fight off enemy aircraft with its missile complement while doing traditional destroyer tasks as well. Let's go with the improved cruiser hull. But I'll actually check it out because I'll need to... I'll need to check what our corvettes are like before we upgrade them and decide on a structure. Because the destroyers that we're doing, the Zerstörer 1950, I think they are, they seem to be poised. They have no sub-detection, but they have torpedo attack and light attack. So do the corvettes, for example, yeah, they have sub-detection. Hedgehog anti-submarine mortars. Yeah, okay, so we are using corvettes as anti-subs and the destroyers as torpedo escorts. And what about frigates? Sub-detection, depth charges and torpedo attack. Okay, so frigates are also made against subs. No, wait, no, you don't have depth charges. Wait, what? You got depth charges 25. Surface the sub-detection. What is going on? How can you have depth charges 25 here? Oh, okay, now it's... Yeah, okay, so you are... Is that a frigate? Yeah, Rostock class. Okay, so it looks like the destroyers in our fleet are made for fighting off enemy ships by using torpedoes, and it's the frigates, and that brings up an interesting question. Shouldn't we rather build frigates than cruisers? Yeah, I think we're gonna research an improved frigate first, because we're gonna design a new destroyer in the next episode, which we're gonna use as a replacement for the 1950s Zerstörers. And these ones are gonna be in the continuation line of anti-ship duty. Well, we'll need a new frigate that's gonna be an anti-submarine ship. That actually makes sense. Okay, and we're going with reforming business. And we'll still need to push through the Ausbildung initiative and the revitalizing science. Yeah, nominal GDP growth is 0.8 at this point, but I think that might be because we haven't reset the game yet. Inflation has dropped to... Yeah, so real GDP growth is much lower. Debt to GDP is good. What about the... Poverty is still increasing, we're at 60%. But that's because the GDP per capita is just tanking. Once that will be dealt with, we should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Now it reset. So nominal GDP growth is 1.5. Inflation is 5%, so minus 3.5 with GDP growth. Okay. And looking at this, reforming business gives us 1 extra % of GDP. You give us 0.5, so that's 1.5. No exceptions is gonna be insane. The new Reichsmark, that's another point. This is for... Yeah, we'll have to go through this one next because we need to get the regime stability before we can actually do this. But again, this is only 1.5, so basically we'll get to 3% nominal growth and inflation of 5. So if I increased all of the expenses... Wow, we would still have a surplus. We actually cannot, at this point, have a deficit. Damn. Okay, well... cool then. I guess we're gonna have to repay our debt whether we like it or not. But the debt interest is fine. We have wait, what? Shouldn't you have increased the credit rating? I don't get it. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. See you in the next episode.